Hi, my name is Jacob Lauritzen, and I'd like to read a little bit from my new book, A Father at 40. It's a memoir told through poems and stories, and it's about the year that I turned 40 and my fifth child was born. When I started writing this book, I thought it'd be kind of fun to document, the year I turned 40 and what that was like. But what it turned into kind of surprised me. I didn't know. I mean, it was fun to be able to write a lot of fun poems about the kind of silly moments with my kids and the funny things that they do. But one of the things that surprised me is I had a lot of health challenges throughout the year. Uh, I started to deal a lot with anxiety, and stemming from the anxiety, uh, my stuttering started to get really bad, and there were other things that I'd start to deal with that were new, that were really new, and so the book talks about it. So I'd like to read some of the poems for you, if that's okay. All right, so A Father at 40 poems and stories. Um, the second poem in the book I wrote a couple days before I turned 40 to think about what this experience was like turning 40, and I called it Another Hill. Here it goes. Bones crack and knees buckle sometimes when I stand. I grunt so often my toddler copies me, unknowingly trolling me. I stretch a half hour for a 20-minute run, or jog, or walk. I take 3 pills every night. I fall asleep easy, but I'm tired all the time. I think about Robert Frost and I understand. I too have miles and miles to go before I sleep. As I climb this hill, I look back at what I've done. I'm a husband, a father, a professor. I've written books and made movies. I've earned degrees and a lot of debt. I've accomplished a lot, but I want to do so much more. I make plans and revise plans. I come up with ideas, more than I could ever do. I tell my wife. I tell my kids. They nod and wait because they know I'll have a new idea tomorrow. I'm proud of what I've done, but I know I'm not done, or at least I'm not content to be done. The higher I climb, the closer I get to the top of the hill. But I'm surprised at what I see. It's not a valley, not even a decline. I just see another hill to climb. So that's my poem about turning 40 and, being over the hill. Um, I have a lot of poems that talk about my kids. Got a picture of my wife in the hospital when she gave birth to our fifth our fifth. About a month into our baby girl being born, she got sick. We took her to the hospital. And the next night, I wrote a poem about that experience called At Midnight. I'd like to read that for you. At midnight. Tonight, I'm thinking about all the other nights like this. It's quiet now. All I hear is the whir of the fan and your breathing. A snort, a sniffle, and a grunt. Nothing to worry about yet. But at any moment, it could all change. Last night, at midnight, we held you in the ER as they tested and tested and tested you, all to find out, yes, you are sick. 2 nights before that, I held your brother for the 3rd night in a row. He seemed fine, but he couldn't sleep alone. Tonight, I'm thinking about all the other nights like this, like the nights your siblings were born at midnight, like the nights I wait outside dances at midnight, like the nights I rock you or them to sleep at midnight, and I think these moments when I get to think about now, about then, about the future, these moments are hard, but these moments are special. I love sleep, but I love holding you more. I just wish tonight that you weren't sick, that you weren't in pain, or at least I imagine you are in pain. You can't speak. You can't tell me. I can only imagine tonight. And so I wait and I listen. I listen to the fan. I listen to you breathing. Is it pained? Is it relaxed? Is it something I should worry about tonight at midnight? When we were in the hospital, that's when we found out that she had COVID, and so that's what it turned out to be. She's fine now, but I have some other poems that are a little bit sillier, focusing on just my silly kids, the funny things they do, and just our experience together. Here's one. It's called Robin Hood. Dinner is simmering on the stove, but our toddler, Robin Hood, has just discovered there are granola bars in the pantry. Like Prince John, I watch as he opens the box, reaches inside, hands one to his older brother, one to himself, and then asks me to open the wrapper. The smell of sautéed beef and onions fill the air, but instead my boys sit, with their feet on the table, enjoying the spoils of their heist. At least he threw his wrapper away before asking for more. Here's one called Dinosaur Dad. Sometimes, at night, when children should be in their beds or in the bath, I feel possessed. My arms shorten and my knees bend as I am overcome with the urge to feed. I see red and roar. My prey screams in terror and delight. As I hunt, it's almost as if they want to be caught. With my trophy in my short, stubby arms, I hear my wife say, "What are you supposed to be? A zombie?" And as quickly as it came, the beast leaves me. I return to my lair to practice in front of the mirror. Reading poetry to children. As I started to write this collection of books, I would share them with my family and my kids, and they really enjoyed hearing the poems, especially the ones about them. And so I had written one that was kind of important to me, and it was a little serious, and I get everyone together to read the poem, and then, things start going crazy and they start running around. And so as they're running around, I wrote this poem called Reading Poetry to Children. I tried to read a poem that came from my heart, but I couldn't get past the beginning to start. From the very first line, you started to scream. And when you calmed down, I tried it again. But then, like a zombie back from the dead, you popped up and screamed over every word I said. It's fitting, I thought. This poem's for you, about all the cute and unique things that you do. Like scream when I read, or fart in my face, cry when I try to go to the bathroom in peace. I couldn't read that poem to you. I guess this one will just have to do. So, some of them do rhyme. Not all of them, but some of them do. This was a really interesting experience for me, to write a year of my life in poems, and I also kind of have these little little stories that kind of connect all the bits and pieces. So it tells a story of the year, but it was hard. It was hard because my anxiety really started to rear its ugly head. And so that is one of the things that comes up a lot, but not just for me. I also started to think a lot about how what I'm dealing with is affecting my kids, and thinking about what they were dealing with too. And so Some of the poems I write were about that, about trying to figure out how do I help my kids. This one is called The Bee. 10 bees stand in line, buzzing each in turn. With each ding, they lose their sting, then buzz back home again. My bee sits there nervously, waiting for his word, sinking slowly, deeply, lowly, uncontrollably. He mumbles through a bright red hoodie, waiting for the sting. Through every round, not a sound, never the dreaded ding. One by one, the bees buzz off, till 2 are left alone. One becomes the champion. The other is my son. But this battle wasn't a war of words. There was a faceless enemy. He didn't win a spelling bee, but he beat anxiety. That was when he was in the school spelling bee, and he did a fantastic job. But he was so nervous the whole time, and it made me think a lot about what I was passing down to my kids and what they were dealing with. I'll read one more. This one is called it's at the end. It's called This Quiet Moment. No one is screaming. The boys are in bed, but now, even in this quiet moment, I feel it. Today was a little stressful, but no more than most, and yet, even in this quiet moment, I feel it. I put my head in my hands and try to breathe again, but even in this quiet moment, I feel it. I feel paralyzed. I feel helpless to this dull, constant, aching pain. But I know it's there, and I can feel its presence, breathing, seething, even in the dark. I turn to see it, and I can make out its edges scowling, prowling, even in the dark. It doesn't want me to see it. It begs me to look away, reeling, kneeling, even in the dark. It has power, but so do I, as I face it to erase it completely from the dark. Slowly it releases, leaving me in pieces, gasping, alone in the dark. I can still feel it, my opponent, even in this quiet moment. So that was one of the poems about my anxiety and dealing with that. Anyway, I wrote this collection as part of me telling my story, cataloging this year in my life, but I also thought this is something a lot of people can relate to. They can relate to getting older, dealing with changes. They can relate to those moments with the kids, those silly things that they do, but also thinking about, our place and our responsibility, and what we owe our children. And I thought that's something that could help a lot of people to hear someone talk about it. So some of these poems rhyme, some of them don't, but they all come from the heart, and I'm happy to share it with you. I'm very proud of it, and I think it's something that a lot of people can get a lot out of. So here it is, The Father at 40, Poems and Stories by me, Jacob Lauritzen. You can order it through Amazon. You can get the ebook there, print copy, or anywhere where you can order books online. Hopefully it'll be there soon. So thanks for listening to me share some of these poems and talking a little bit about this book. I hope that you check it out, and I hope that it helps you in ways that it helped me. So thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.